haven't seen you in over a year and a half, UFC 264. What has life been like for you these last couple of years?
He fell back.
Doing my thing, I was recovering from the injury, trying to work my way back.
You've called out Conor McGregor before this year. Do you believe that he's going to come back to the octagon at this point?
I do, and I believe his first fight back will be me.
I would love to see a Chandler and Conor McGregor fight. It's a fresh fight, they never fought each other before, and both guys are super dangerous.
The style matchup's interesting, right? We've got Chandler and him both having really, really good striking, but Chandler's also got that wrestling. He doesn't use it all the time, but...
It's a matchup that, depending on how you look at it, can favor either guy. You know, explosive striking, explosive wrestling, and Conor likes to fight guys who are going to come to him, guys he doesn't have to go find.
What do I hope for in this world, Megan? I hope for 100 more fights. I hope for consistency. I hope for a run. I've had this on, off for the last while. I just want to get this nice consistency going. And I'm hoping now when I come back, this is where it's at.
We just confirmed the coaches for season 31 of The Ultimate Fighter.
The biggest superstar in mixed martial arts history is back.
Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler will go head-to-head as the coaches of The Ultimate Fighter, Team McGregor versus Team Chandler. Then, at the end of the season, McGregor and Chandler will fight live on ESPN Plus pay-per-view.
Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler at a date to be determined.
The weight hasn't been announced either, but you can expect the fight to be at 170. Both guys are focusing on getting bigger against each other.
I want you at your biggest, I want you at your baddest, and I want you at your best. You and me at 170. This summer, this fall, this winter.
Watching his rise was phenomenal. I mean, you know, just the very beginning where the guy's on welfare and he's a plumber's apprentice and he rises to the top.
I'm set to take over this game pretty soon.
When I went to Ireland for that Trinity College thing, all I heard about was Conor McGregor. I'd never heard of the kid before.
So Conor McGregor's UFC debut was April 6, 2013 in Sweden.
He's 24 years old. Great winning streak as he makes his UFC debut. 9 first-round finishes. Marcus attack looking to finish it here. This is why everyone's been talking about Conor McGregor. It's all over. Conor McGregor, another first-round win. Wow.
Dana, 60 G's, baby.
You've been very stoic there with the sunglasses, kind of just looking ahead, not really reacting to much. What's going through your mind right now?
Not much, you know. There's two things I really like to do, and that's whoop ass and look good. And I'm doing one of them right now. On Saturday night, I'm gonna do the other.
I've been in the UFC for a long time. I've never seen a fighter with only one fight in the octagon get as much hype behind him as you.
I knew Max is a tough competitor, and I knew he was going to give me some great exchanges, and he did. He must improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Declaring the winner, victorious.
I said I was going to put him away in the first round. I put him away in the first round. What's next for me is I'm going to go backstage, sit down with Mr. Lorenzo Verdite, toast some fine-ass whiskey, and talk about football stadiums next. Conor McGregor!
It's a grudge match. I don't like this guy, you know, and I'm not sure. It sounds like he doesn't like me, obviously. Well, we're going to go in there and see who's a better fighter. You know, that's what it comes down to.
I'm a nice guy now. I sit back, smile, go in and put him away in one round, and we will talk again on Saturday night.
Conversation, looking to finish the fight. That's it. Just like that.
So I said I'd knock him out in the first round, and I knocked him out in the first round. You can call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
I feel extremely confident that I will take his head clean off.
And I'm with your winner, Conor McGregor.
I'm not satisfied. Satisfaction is an emotion for the middle.
A complete change to fight Chad Mendes on 2 weeks' notice.
It doesn't matter who it is.
This now sets up a fight with Jose Aldo that will be easily the biggest fight in the history of the UFC.
Before I came onto the scene, they never even looked at us. And I said after my debut, I was going to drag them by the scruff of the neck back to my home country. Now we're here. Now they see us now. They know us now.
Conor relaxed and smiling. Oh! He slapped him!
Oh, baby, we did it! Yeah!
Conor McGregor versus Dana.
I'll face it like a man, like a champion, and come back and do it again. Like my coach says, we win or we learn. I learned from the last contest. I'm the featherweight world champion. Now in November, I'm going to be the lightweight world champion.
The first man ever to hold 2 titles simultaneously.
McGregor, Mayweather, face off!
Stepping away for 2 years, coming back, facing the undefeated, unbeatable Russian.
What a way to start the year with Conor coming back.
Whoa! Too easy!
That was about as clean and decisive a first round as you could ever get.
The UFC, they can strip fighters and give to other fighters make-believe belts to replicate my champ status, but they can't give knockout victories across multiple weight divisions.
This fight pops up with Poirier, and it makes so much sense because the story's there.
That first one was so long ago.
Shit, boy. Yeah, you ain't. What's up?
That's good.
What's up?
Conor McGregor kind of announced this week that he signed on to fight January 23rd.
After that loss, many years ago, he rose up, became champion. He's given so much back. I'm honored to share this octagon with this man.
Conor's team did reach out, and they are starting the donation to the Good Fight Foundation. So Conor, man to man.
Pleasure, brother, my pleasure. Thank you.
You're gonna help a lot of people with that.
Yes, and you.
The wait for one of the biggest cards of the new year ends here. Once again, the epicenter of the mixed martial arts universe, and later tonight, it will indeed be Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor under the lights. Knockdown Poirier! Are you kidding me right now? Dustin Poirier has produced the biggest win of his career by a mile. I know it did not go the way you expected tonight.
Dustin's a some fighter. The leg kicks were good. This wasn't as comfortable as I needed to be, you know what I mean? I have to dust it off and come back, and that's it, and that's what I will do.
He's a pro, man, and nothing but respect. We're 1-1. Maybe we have to do it again.
There's always a trilogy when you got 1-1.
I'll certainly regroup. I'll regroup and pick myself up, you know what I mean? Get up off the floor and go again, and that's it.
This time, I think it's going to be a little bit more heated. Dustin Poirier put up a tweet, I think it was in response to Conor. He said, "At the Notorious MMA, you also predicted a donation to my foundation, and you and your team stopped responding after the fight in January. See you soon. July 10th, paid in full." Then Conor responded and said, "A donation, not a debt. We've been waiting plans for the money that never came. I do it with all my donations. Know where it's going dot for dot, otherwise it goes walking." And that's the case with a lot of these foundations, sadly. You took McGregor over the belt. Shows I was right.
Conor, in the build-up to the last fight, you were unusually kind to Dustin.
Conor, it's clear that the gentlemanly Conor that was in Abu Dhabi is not here this time around.
You try and be nice to them. You try and help them out of pity.
And Dustin's admitted in fight number 1 you got in his head. As you're sitting there right now, do you feel that you've been able to get into his head or under his skin again?
I'm gonna go through his head, put holes in them and take it off its shoulders. That's the goal here.
We got a hell of a card for you folks.
I'm gonna make this man pay with his life, and I mean it. You're dead in that octagon tomorrow night.
Obviously, he fought like a warrior, and he was better prepared. He was better than the last time. His energy level was higher. You know, he tried to mix it up with the kicks. But of course, Poirier was prepared.
Dustin weathered the storm, takes it to the ground.
Dustin's dropping bombs.
Looked like Dustin complained about something there. McGregor back to his feet.
Oh, his leg.
Conor might have broke his ankle.
I think he broke his ankle.
Broken.
That's going to be the end of the fight. So that is it. After 5 minutes, Conor McGregor seemingly breaking his ankle at the end of the round, and Dustin Poirier is going to win this fight and thereby this trilogy by TKO tonight.
The fight obviously stopped in a horrible way.
I was boxing the bleeding head off him, kicking the bleeding leg off him.
Tell us what you felt. Tell us what you thought was going on.
Just the thing had separated and my bleeding landed on the wonky leg like Anderson Silva. That's a f***ing mad out business.
I was surprised that with the broken leg, he was sitting there still talking.
Unfortunately, he broke his leg and it was unsatisfactory, but shocking to me the way Conor acted after the fight. I thought he would say, hey, congratulations to Dustin, let's do it again.
The way the fight was going, clearly you felt like it was going in your way.
He didn't do that.
This is not over. If we had to take this outside with him, it's all outside. We don't give a Your wife is in me DMs, hey baby. Hit me back and we'll chat you later on. We'll be at the after party, the Win nightclub, baby. You're looking bitch, you little.
Listen, it was a wild fight for as long as it lasted. I'm sure you'll be back.
Dana, got to get your thoughts on the main event, right? A great fight while it lasted, and then kind of a bizarre ending.
It sucks. It's brutal. It's not the way you want to see fights end. So Conor goes into surgery tomorrow. I don't know how long he's going to be out, how much rehab or therapy he's going to need, and we'll see how this whole thing plays out. Who knows how long Conor's out?
He might take like 6 to 9 months off, and the division is going to look very different when he does return.
I think that there's going to be a lot of question marks around Conor McGregor's return, that leg, and how that holds up. I'm looking forward to seeing how Conor McGregor comes back from this.
Listen, the rematch is there. You got the rematch with him like you got the rematch with Diaz. You know, it's always going to be there. I don't know what the landscape's going to look like when he's ready or how long it's going to be.
How many people do a post-fight interview with a broken tib fib? And I'm not trying to turn him into a hero or anything like that, but he's promoting his next fight with a broken tib fib.
What was your sort of takeaway after the, obviously, massive injury?
There's a lot that Conor McGregor can do to come back and look stronger and get stronger. The problem is a broken tib fib is going to take a long time to recover from, quite possibly mentally.
Man, for one, for somebody to come off of an injury like that, this guy, like, his mindset was like, that injury didn't even happen.
But if there's a guy who could do it, it's Conor McGregor.
Question for Michael over here. Welcome to the UFC. This is your first real big press conference. I don't think anyone for years thought you would be here. So what are your first impressions of your new home?
This is great, man. Thank you. It's been a long time coming, and there was moments where I wasn't sure if I would ever make that jump to come over. The circumstances needed to be right. This is where my new home needed to be, and everything has been wonderful thus far, and I'm excited to go out there, start this new chapter.
I know you're not looking past Dan, but you had said in the media day you were looking forward to at least sizing up Conor, being around him, seeing what he's about. So have you seen him in the hotel? And if you haven't, what do you think now?
No, I have not. No, this is just the first time I saw him, man. He's looking dapper as always. Conor McGregor, typical Conor fashion. But you know, I've been outside of the UFC, and I told Dana this in our conversation. Every single time that I trained for one of the guys that I stepped inside of the cage with, I wasn't training to fight them. I was training to fight the #1 guy in the world. The #1 guy in the world has always been under the UFC banner. I was always training to fight to beat that guy. So, sizing everybody up. You know, last time I was here on Fight Island, saw Khabib, saw Gaethje. Man, these are the upper echelon, the world-class guys that I've wanted to compete against since day one. And now I get that opportunity. Just got to go out there and take care of business on Saturday night.
Whatever time it may be where you are, good day to you from Fight Island, Abu Dhabi. Hooker is in black. Michael Chandler is in white.
Chandler puts him on his heels right away.
Dan being very patient. Going to sit out on the outside, throw some feints, and he wants to see what Michael's going to do. Is he going to go for this shot early, or is he going to look for that big right hand?
Oh! Big knockout for Michael Chandler!
Big right hand. Dan's hurt.
Chandler covering up. It's over. Michael Chandler maximizing the debut. It's the landing. Michael Chandler, bona fide UFC lightweight contender.
gentlemen, your winner, draped in the stars and stripes, Michael Chandler. Welcome to the UFC. You have waited a long time for this moment.
It's been such a long road, John. A lot of ups, a couple downs, but every road has led me to this. Just a small guy from a small town who got beat down a couple times, pulled himself up by his bootstraps, dusted himself off, and here we are, baby. Let's go get that title shot soon. But I gotta get something off my chest. I tell y'all this is the greatest moment in my professional life. Conor McGregor, surprise, surprise, there's a new king in the lightweight division. Dustin Poirier, your time is coming, and Khabib, if you ever do see fit to grace us with your presence back here in the UFC octagon, in your quest for 30, you know you gotta beat somebody. So beat me if you can. God bless. See you at the top.
Couldn't have gone much better than that, could it?
No, man, I really don't think it could have. It's been a long time going, though, right? I felt everything in there. I saw everything in there. Top 5 lightweight, Dan Hooker, onward and upward. Can't wait for the next one.
We have finally got the lightweight title fight. Khabib is not interested in coming back, so the fight is going to be between Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler.
It's a crazy journey, right? Like 9 months ago, you're fighting for another organization. Now you're here for the UFC undisputed title.
This has been a very rapid and fantastic rise. One fight in, you got a title shot.
There's only one way to do this. Charles Oliveira is going to meet me in the center of the octagon. We're going to put on a great show. God bless. I'll see you at the top.
You want to touch gloves? Do it now.
The lightweight title is vacant. It will not be in 25 minutes.
You had him hurt in that first round. You had him in real trouble. Oliveira's in trouble.
He hurt. Oliveira in the world of trouble early.
Hats off to Charles for surviving that first round, surviving the barrage.
Give us your thoughts on what went down in the second round.
Knockdown for Oliveira.
Chandler's in real trouble.
Now Chandler is down.
He's down.
Listen, I take nothing away from him. I will be back.
But you handle your loss with class and grace. Thank you, sir.
If anybody can handle a loss, it's Chandler. He's going to find the silver lining in that loss, and he will be back.
Ideally, when would you like to fight again against whoever it ends up being?
There's no shortage of great names. There's no shortage of great opportunities.
Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler is happening for UFC 268.
Michael saw this fight coming together for a while after your last fight.
Looks like he's out. Chokes Justin Gaethje to sleep. Well, this division does not have a champion as Khabib steps away. How soon would you like to spin this thing forward? Dateline, New York. They all feel big, but this one particularly so.
Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler is happening for UFC 268.
This is a fight that needed to happen. It's a fight that was inevitable that it was going to happen. We're going to entertain everybody, win, lose, or draw. I'm prepared to make a highlight or be made a highlight by the human highlight reel.
Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler, the door has been locked behind them.
Oh, tagged him with that. Oh, they're in the pocket. Oh my goodness.
Big shots for Chandler.
As advertised.
We're living in the wrong time. Me and him should have been fighting to death in a Coliseum.
Couple big rights for Chandler. Gaethje wobbled.
Dude is powerful. Were you amazed that he was able to take some of those shots?
Bloody battered Michael Chandler returns to his feet.
He took the leg out, but he still managed to keep moving on it deep into the third round.
That left leg is beat up.
Chandler has lost a lot of pop in his kicks.
And how tough is Michael Chandler? Chandler's still standing on will alone.
2 minutes. What a fight.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. He hurt.
Wow. What a fight. Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler now connected forever. And remarkably, the scorecards will be needed.
You know, he lost that fight, but he came close to winning, and at the end he hurt Justin Gaethje too. If you're going to go out there and lose fights in the UFC, you go out there and lose them like Michael Chandler does, and you take damage and you give damage and you have people talking.
I feel like momentum has been building, even with ups and downs, even with a couple setbacks in my UFC run thus far. But that's the fight game.
Dateline Phoenix. It has been a wild, unforgettable fight week here in the Valley, and tonight, all the hype lays out for the action as we get ready for one of the deepest main cards of the year to date.
I'm focused on Saturday night, focused on getting through Tony Ferguson and see what happens next.
Let's get into this Chandler-Ferguson fight. Man, neither of these guys has ever been involved in a boring fight.
This is UFC 274.
And they were going at it.
The fight starts, bang, Ferguson hurts him.
Oh, big
Chandler's wrestling looked powerful, man. He took Tony Ferguson off his feet with that double leg.
Oh, that one got through for Chandler. Round 2.
I tweeted before this fight, don't go to your refrigerator. If you went to your refrigerator, you might have missed it. It was explosive.
Oh my goodness. No one has ever knocked out Tony Ferguson. It's the best front kick knockout I've ever seen in my life.
He beat a good Tony Ferguson, and Tony looked good out there. He found the perfect shot and put him down. But Michael Chandler went through adversity and found the victory.
Because when you're down and you have a round like I just did, it wasn't that decisive. You got to pull something inside of you, and God came through. Here we are.
Michael Chandler, ladies and gentlemen!
And he's for sure going to get another big fight after this.
But is there anything different in this lead up to this fight with Dustin Poirier?
And we both climbing the same mountain trying to get to the top. Dustin Poirier's in my way of what I want. I can tell you this, we both are always looking for the finish. Let's do this thing on Saturday night.
Live from Madison Square Garden here in New York, New York. This is UFC 281. Dustin Poirier submits Michael Chandler in round 3.
It was a wild fight, and a wild first round in particular.
Chandler feels his explosiveness is something Dustin has not seen.
Poirier's in trouble. He's in real trouble.
Oh, big right hand.
Smart by Chandler.
Oh, big shot by Dustin.
Oh, right from Chandler.
Again.
Oh, Poirier sticks him with that left. Now the body. Oh, Chandler in a world of trouble late here. Round 1.
Fighting. Very smart by Chandler.
I mean, complete control.
Those look better right on here.
He picked him up. Oh, Dustin now. Oh, he's getting stuck in his leg.
He got it. He's inside.
Oh, that looks underneath the top.
The first and only featherweight champion. This will be his 8th title defense. He's on an 18-fight win streak, and he is going to defend his title and try to bring it back here to Brazil.
I believe you practice visualization. Can you paint a picture of what it is you see in your mind happening on Saturday night?
Word for word, you said, I felt when we stared down, I felt his right hand was twitching, which was a subtle tell for me. He is ready to unload that right hand, and I feel that could be a downfall for him.
I visualize I'll be a ghost in there. He will think I'm there, and then I am not there. This one will be a spectacle.
If he lets that right hand go, I will not be there. I simply enter the way I enter, and that is enough. They either overextend or they shrink away. How do you do that?
If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
I think the story of Conor McGregor and what's so inspiring about the guy, he's always going to believe in himself.
It's in your mind, you know, it's the mental side. It's always in my head.
Obviously, I know it's a tough night. You go in there, obviously, up 2 weight classes.
This is the game. We win some, we lose some. I'll learn from it. I'll be back.
Then it's not the end of the world. Grow, learn, carry on the journey.
I'm grateful for my coach, John Kavanagh. Learn from your mistakes and go in confident.
How many 145-pounders can go up to 170? Now, how many can go up and beat Nate Diaz?
Now that Eddie Alvarez performance is truly one of the great performances in UFC championship history.
First champion ever to hold 2 titles simultaneously.
It's interesting. When he started, he was this person who had the boy done good in Dublin. He started with nothing and he worked his way up and he grinded and he talked a bit of shit and he backed it up and he was this superstar. But it was all a bit of fun. It was business to him. And then things kind of started getting out of hand.
Dana White said it felt dark, you know, the build up to the Khabib fight and all the anger. And man, he said, listen, I reevaluated myself, I reinvented myself.
He may have lost to the greatest 155-pounder of all time, an absolute animal in Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Because sometimes you got to lose to win.
That was about as clean and decisive a first round as you could ever get. How good does it feel to be back?
He can still fight. He can still win fights.
We talk about it all the time, why you can have 7 losses, 6 losses, and still be a champion because you learn from those losses. You go through the fire. You get forged by those losses.
You know, I just have to keep going, and life is like that sometimes. We pick ourselves up and keep going.
Dana, got to get your thoughts on the main event, right? A great fight while it lasted, and then kind of a bizarre ending.
Conor breaks his ankle. I don't know how long he's going to be out, how much rehab or therapy he's going to need.
You said there's still one guy in your mind. Is it safe to assume that's Conor McGregor?
Maybe I'm the guy that comes back and fights. Step inside the octagon with me.
Most of us, certainly any of us who know what makes this man tick, knew that Conor McGregor was going to be back.
I'm close to another contest. I'm very, very excited.
What do you think could possibly be next for Conor McGregor?
You did say that you're trying to do Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler.
Conor McGregor, you and me at 170. This summer, this fall, this winter. Coming at you, boy. God bless. I'll see you at the top.
When you got the call, what made you say yes?
It's time for me to immerse myself back in the game.
It's going to be Michael Chandler at 170 pounds, and it's going to come on the tail end of a stint on The Ultimate Fighter between these two gentlemen.
I think this is the right move.
When Michael Chandler was back here, he said that him and Conor have not really liked each other as much as he thought they would, and actually there's a bit of contention in filming of Tough. Has there been any incidents between those two?
Some things started escalating that you'll see on the show, and the stuff that just happened shouldn't have happened.
Did it get physical?
Yeah.
If he did not come out there and bang it out with all of his opponents and have some of the best post-fight interviews we've ever seen, I don't think this Conor fight would have ever happened.
That's what this was all supposed to build to, getting to that Conor McGregor lane, and it has worked.
He's the wrestling training partner because of the wrestling of Michael Chandler?
Yeah.
If he comes out there to take Conor to the ground, land big ground and pound shots and control the fight, I think he should win the fight.
I definitely think it's going to be an interesting factor, but I think there's a matchup that, depending on how you look at it, can favor either guy. Explosive striking, explosive wrestling.
But at the same time, it's high risk, high reward for Chandler to stand with Conor and try to knock him out with his hands.
Make no mistake, Conor McGregor, man, a gamer. Think about how good he is at forcing the left hand on people.
Conor is so precise on countering an orthodox fighter's right straight, and that is Chandler's biggest punch as well.
It's an exciting matchup because it's a fight that Conor can win, and it's also a fight that Chandler can win.
Here you are, training for a return.
Not only just a return, Megan, the greatest return in combat sports. I'm going to kick this guy in the head, and I'm aiming to wrap this steel bar around the opponent. And you're going to see a visual of the leg hanging off, and then you're going to see a visual of the head hanging off.
We will see.
That guy just won't stop talking. That guy just won't stop saying things.
Conor McGregor, listen, I choose violence whenever that cage door closes. I can go out there, and if I pick you up and put you down, I can also submit you as well.
Everything has led to this, the biggest stage I could possibly ask for. What a screamer of a fight this is.